Welcome to the show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the buffet with Tony Yarber. I'm excited about being here today. We got a lot to talk about today. So I want to encourage you, go on and share, let everybody know that the buffet is live. This is the hottest Friday wind down show that you're going to catch anywhere, particularly in the state of Mississippi and in the city of Jackson. I'm in a real good mood today. Everything is everything, and everything is all good. With that being said, I'm going to I want to be sure that today we get your input, get you engaged. So if you wanna be a part of the show, we're gonna be talking about who is swag, because I want to know what that means. What in the world does it mean to be swag? This has been a conversation that's been held. DJ Finesse posted the question, and some folks lost their minds, got in their feelings about it. But nevertheless, I thought it would be a real good idea today to explore this conversation about who is swag, baby. Before we get into that, I want to invite you to like, share. I want to invite you to not only like and to share, but I want to invite you to help me reach my star goal for the month. Real simple, just go on down there, click the stars, it'll prompt you from there. I have a real strong desire to see people do well. I got a real strong desire to see people do well, and one of the ways that folks are gonna do well is by getting exposure. Get an opportunity to be exposed, expose your business, your small business. That's why this is a platform that I want to invite you to be a part of as a sponsor. That's right, you can be a sponsor of this particular show, you can promote your business, promote your skill, promote whatever your product may be right here on We Believe Digital. Great platform to be on. We got WeBelieveDigital.com where we're broadcasting. We've got Roku TV where we're being broadcast, Facebook, of course, YouTube. Listen, this is a really, really, really good place to be able to get your business out for a really, really reasonable monthly obligation. So holler at me, holler at the folks here at the show. You can give us a call at 1-800-492-5186, 1-800-492-5186. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to dive right into the conversation. I'm going to, again, ask you, encourage you to please share. Let everybody know that we are absolutely live. If you have comments, I'm going to try to pull this up, make sure I can see y'all. For whatever reason, I was struggling here a minute ago. So if you got comments, I want to be able to see them. But if comments come up next to y'all let me know, because I can't see on my phone for whatever reason. Folks want to get involved in the conversation. I want to lead off the other day. And I know that this is one of those conversations and topics that certain folks, y'all believe, should stay away from. But the other day, Pastor Jamal Harrison Bryant of the New Birth Missionary Baptist Church in Georgia was on a podcast a lot like this. And while he was on that podcast, Mr. Dr. Jamal Harrison Bryant, I want everybody to know that I have a relationship with him. He's my guy. But the other day, he was on a podcast and he said something. Of course, whenever you say something that rubs people's ideologies, their traditions, what they believe in the wrong way, it's going to create an issue. What this brother did the other day, had the nerve to get on a podcast and say he wanted folks in his church, and I loved it. Let me just say this first of all. I love what he said. It made real good sense to me, but again, I'm a little different. He said, I want people at my church that smell like weed. It's like, what? Like, what, boy? You want what? Listen, he said it. I tripped out because immediately I already knew what church folk what that response would be like for somebody to walk in the church smelling like weed. And sure enough, not only did church folks get a hold to it, but folk who don't go to nobody's church, who always got something to say about church. You ain't tired, you ain't did nothing, but you always want to ask about what church doing money. Even you, all those people jumped on it. Different and varying pieces of conversation about it. But one of the things that he said that was intriguing, because I don't want to leave you hanging. He said, "I want people at my church who smell like smoke." He said, "Yeah." I'm being serious because New Birth is exploring growing cannabis, and they want to employ brothers to be able to learn and to participate in the farming of it, the growing, all of the behind the scenes, the packaging, the distributing to dispensaries, all those things. And he said that he believed that that was an opportunity and an avenue to bring people in, to engage people who would not normally be. Now, I'm gonna just be honest with you. I think that, and this is just me personally, I think that churches have to be careful what they engage in. And this, whatever works for you, it works for you. And you gotta be careful because there are certain spaces and places where the culture will allow that. There are certain spaces and places where the culture is all right with that kind of liberal edginess. But I want to go on and say right now, you Mississippi brothers, you Mississippi pastors, don't try that. Do not try to grow weed at your church. Don't do that. All right, I know it sounds good, and it's likely going to work for Dr. Jamal Harrison Bryant. But we're on 5.5 acres of land. We're not growing weed at Relevant. We just ain't gonna be able to do it. I probably would love to be able to do it, but you got to know where you are. But I thought that was interesting. Not only did I think it was interesting, I thought it was one of those things that needs to happen every now and then. That every now and then, you, just like the church, we need to be nudged in directions that make us reconsider what our priorities are. We got to be nudged. Sometimes you got to be nudged in a direction that helps you reconsider what your particular priorities are. And unfortunately, sometimes what ends up happening is we'll end up going with whatever wind and doctrine come along to blow us out of the water. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, last week I introduced something to you. We talked about, myself and Ariel were in here, and we were talking about primetime Deion Sanders, the former coach. And over the course of the last week, we've seen all kinds of stuff since Deion Sanders officially announced that he was leaving on Saturday. He officially announced that he would be going to Colorado to be the new head coach there. And after that, there have been a flood of emotions, all kinds of pontification about this. There's been all kinds of commentary. There have been all sorts of people who are experts in SWAC and never been to SWAC, and we're going to get to that in a little while, who is SWAC. But I think that we are at a strategic inflection point. And here's what I mean. We are in a space and a place now where, and I said this last week, that you cannot build a program in 2.5 years. All right. I said that last week, and I stand by what I said, because what we're getting ready to see, what we're getting ready to witness is whether or not a program, a foundation has been laid such that there is no major setback in the progress of the Jackson State University football team. And so we're going to have to start talking about turning the prime corner. It's time. We got to turn the corner now. We're at a strategic inflection point. I think we have all gone through some level or stage of grieving the former coach's departure. Some of us were in denial. Some of us, we had all kinds of stuff going on. I finally come to the place of acceptance. And because I'm at the place of acceptance, I'm good. It's all good. How he left, I didn't like it, but that's all good. That's over with. That's setting up. Let's turn the prime corner. And one of the ways that we're going to have to start turning the prime corner is we're going to have to keep that same energy. And I want you to hear me and hear me well. A young lady who was actually on a dynamic show yesterday called The Black Woman Report, Quinn Hollins, has a post, and she talked about how packed the Colorado basketball arena was for their game. It was a game that Coach Prime was going to, or it was a game where they were introducing Prime to the student body, okay? And it was packed. Everybody was there. Quinn Hollins, you can go to her Facebook page if you want to and check that out. Quinn Hollins makes the comment, she says, Jackson State University has a women's basketball team that is phenomenal, nationally recognized, plays with the best of them, beats the best of them, and we can't even have pack the stand. And I want y'all to understand, I want you to hear me and hear me well. If indeed, one tide can lift all sails, then my fear is that there's not been an infrastructure put in place that's going to sustain the wind in those sails, that's going to sustain the ability for those sails to keep going, to maintain rather the momentum from that wind. So we're going to have to start talking about and thinking about how we turn the corner. Well, I think one of the things that we're going to have to do is really, really, really consider, what do we want going forward? Tell you what I mean. We gotta decide if we are satisfied with the winning team, or do we want a program? We're gonna have to decide. We're gonna have to make up our mind. Are we satisfied with the winning team, or do we want a winning program? There's a difference. See, a winning team, what the old coach was able to do. And y'all holler, call me if you want to holler about this. 1-800-492-5186, 1-800-492-5186. Give me a call if you want to talk about it. Jump on the comments inside Facebook if you want to talk about it. We'll definitely entertain your comments, your thoughts, and your feelings about this. But the old coach, all the old coach did was build a winning team. And I want y'all to hear me when I say that. All he did was he built a winning team. And I want to go another further. And say to you, and some things I don't even say, because if you're simply a fan, it's gonna go over your head. All right, it's gonna go over your head. Well, so bear with me for a second. All Coach did was brought his star status. Hey, I can see y'all talking now. Hey, Kim Lewis, thank y'all for sharing. All he did was he brought the star power. He brought the Dion effect. And when he brought the Dion effect did exactly what it was supposed to do. Give him the ability to recruit better athletes than all of his counterparts. Being able to recruit better than all of his counterparts, he hit the portal. He went to JUCOs in some cases. He got 4 and 5 stars who could come in and be immediate impact. And what happened was, when you start looking across from position to position, you had almost every position at Jackson State where those athletes were 1, 2, and in some cases 3 stars. Stars is how these kids are rated. 3 stars from 1 up to 5, rather, or you can, the highest is a 5-star. And when you do that, and you got a kid from Valley that's a 1-star, a kid at Jackson State lining up against him, he's a D tackle, and you got a guard and a center or a tackle. These guys are lining up against ends and D tackles who from Valley might be 1 and 2 stars, and Jackson State got a 3, 4, 5-star. That was easy. I know y'all don't like this. He came and missed me on all that. He came and revived just a terrible. No, he had there was an infrastructure in place. All right, that's how you build a winning team in college, in a conference like the SWAC. All right, now I'm not convinced he's going to be able to do that in Colorado. I am not convinced. I am not convinced he's going to be able to do it in Colorado because he's in the Pac-12. Oregon. Now, bless your heart, do what you need, do what you must, but I think it's time for us to turn the corner from simply having a winning team to having a winning program. What does a winning program do? A winning program is like in Alabama, in Auburn. It doesn't matter who the coach is. They still have the ability to get the same kind of kids. Why? Because the brand is the school and the brand is not the person. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm getting ready to go on break, but I need you to not go anywhere because when we come back on the other side of the break, we're going to talk about who is SWAC, baby. We'll see y'all in just a second. Don't go anywhere and share.
Do you have something to say? Do you want your voice heard? Join the We Believe Global lineup. Be the star of your own show. For more info, call 800-492-5186, option number 1, or visit online at webelieve.global.
The Mississippi Link is an African-American female-owned newspaper with a trusted voice that is highly respected throughout the city, state, and nation. Our motto, Keepers of the Knowledge for People Who Speak the Truth, since 1993. Link significantly influences the thoughts, attitudes, and buying decisions of its readers. Call us at 601-368-8481 for your advertising needs. If you would like to receive a newspaper in the mail each week, our annual subscription is only $52 per year. That is only $1 per week for you to stay informed regarding many stories that you can only get in the Mississippi Link. Sign up today at themississippiLink.com and click on Home Delivery.
Hey, and welcome back to the hottest Friday wind down, the buffet with Tony Yarber, where we talk about the most relevant current events, everything from politics all the way to what your mama and them doing and what they're going to be cooking on this upcoming holiday. Today, we are in the throes of dissecting the conversation or dissecting the question, the idea, who is SWAC? Baby, go on. If you're still on, go on and share. Let everybody know that the hot topic that they've been waiting on for the last 16 minutes, we are finally there. Who is SWAC? If you don't know, if you've been on a rock or something, you haven't been paying attention to HBCU football, you haven't been paying attention to SWAC football over the last 13 weeks or so, then you have missed a treat. It's been one of the most exciting times for HBCU football. Been one of the most exciting times for SWAC football, probably since Steve Air McNair. And before that, probably that crew up at Valley with Willie Totten and Jerry All-World Rice. And so if you missed it, what you missed was when Jackson State played Alabama State, the coach of Alabama State, Eddie Robinson Jr., no relations to the former coach, Big Daddy Dean of football, Eddie Robinson in Grambling. No relations, Stephen A. Smith. Now, you knew better than that. Now, you knew better than that, Stephen. Let me turn right here. Y'all catch, I just moved the camera. Y'all catch me right here because I want Stephen A. Stephen A. Now, you knew better getting on there with Bomani Jones. Talking about that man with that man's son. They let us know right then, you ain't swag, baby. This conversation has been going on, and I want to just give some room for us to talk about it. Give some room for us to debate the merits of this. I'm on Twitter. I love Twitter. I'm a whole nother kind of person on Twitter than I am on Facebook. And that I am on other platforms. On Twitter, I get to be T Yarber. I get to be Sub Boy T Yarber and all that other stuff. And in that space, in the Black Twitter space, there has been this continual dissection of what Eddie Robinson Jr. said when he confronted Deion Sanders by saying that Deion Sanders was not swag. And that became a hot topic on Black Twitter. What does that mean? And Deion's response was, if he ain't swag, who is swag? If he ain't swag, who is swag? Well, what is swag? I got a chance to see and look through many of the comments, and on Twitter, there are a group of folks who may consider themselves to be HBCU and SWAC purists, and that's fine. I got a degree from PWIs, and I got a degree from a SWAC HBCU. And when you grow up, I cut that out. Keish, don't tell folks I show out on Twitter, because I do. Y'all come over there and holler at me on Twitter. But you know, when you grow up on Lynch Street, you go to the NYSP program at Jack State University, where Coach Donnell would wear your behind out in the 80s and the 90s, then those are things that people consider swag. Some of y'all don't think people are swag if they don't have swag hours. And I believe that when you take that approach, this is just me now, I believe that when you take the approach that people got to have swag hours, I think you become a little elitist. I think you're a little bit elitist. I just don't think you can tell the people that live on Dalton Street that they ain't swag. I don't think you can tell the folk that live on Hare Street, the people that live in the bottom, I don't think you can tell the people that live in the Addition, I don't think you can tell that just because they don't have swag hours that they ain't swag. Those folks help build that place. I think we got to be careful. I need to hear from y'all. What's up? Keisha, what is swag? Keisha Latrice, Keisha and I, we worked together. Both of us started out in education years ago, and she is a former Golden Girl. I'm telling all your business at Alcorn State University. Keisha she works in the athletic realm. And she is, I'm gonna go and say it out loud, she's gonna be one of the first featured black female athletic directors at one of these powerful HBCUs and or other. So I wanted to say that because Keisha, when you start talking, I want folks to know that you got your SWAC credentials. All right, I want folks to know that you straight. She says, now, you know I'm swag through and through. Always Alcorn. Nobody ask you that. We ain't ask you. Hey, now, I'll stop talking to you if you come on here talking that Alcorn stuff. I ain't ask you that. I already gave you your Alcorn shout out. Everybody know that. Okay? Congratulations. I'm interested though, Keisha. I'm interested, Kim. I'm interested to the rest of you. I'm interested in hearing what you think it is to be swag, because when we start just summing it up to swag hours, when we start telling folks that if you ain't got a degree, I don't know. I don't know about that. And so I look, for me, I look to see who supports swag. For me, I look to see who didn't just run the swag when there was an artificial spotlight put on it. When I think about it, I think about Lil Joe, right? When I'm thinking about swag, when I think about swag, I'm thinking about Coach McNair at Alcorn. You understand? When I think about swag, I'm thinking about all of the tradition, all of those of us who have been impacted by that tradition, all of us who have been influenced in a way that it affects how we feel about our people, that it affects how we treat our people. So I don't know what does it mean to be SWAC? Kim says Tougaloo did not have a football team. JSU reps us all to me. See, like, yeah, Kim, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, let me give you an example. I'm gonna give you an example there, Kim. I appreciate your input on that. That jarred my memory on something. All right, so I went to a PWI for undergrad. I went to USM. And it's always a funny story that I tell because I went to Jackson State every summer of my little adolescent teen life for the NYSP program. So I just automatically assumed I was gonna go to Jackson State. But I ain't gonna get into that. I get in my feelings when I talk about how somebody did me at that school. But anyway, I ended up being able to go to Jackson State, moved back home to Jackson, and went to Jackson State for grad school. Well, while I was at USM, myself and my friends, we were coming to every home game that Jackson State had that we could. All right, that we could. We went to some USM games. We did that. We supported USM's team because we had good teams back then, real good teams, NFL players. But you know what we was gonna do? We were gonna be at homecoming like it was ours. we were gonna be at the Soul Bowl, and we were gonna wear Jackson State University colors like we went there. All right, and I think that I got a homeboy. My homeboy graduated from USM with me, but when I tell you, when it come time, like we're grown now. He out-travels people to Jackson State games that got hours from Jackson State. He's SWAC to me. To me, he's SWAC. Now we can debate that and that's fine. That's just my opinion. But to me, he's SWAC. To me, just like Kim, just like you said that Tougaloo didn't have a football team, so it was Jackson State for y'all. I think you SWAC, Kim. I consider you, girl. I consider you SWAC. I got a caller. Oh boy, okay then. This the headphone right here. All right, it's clean. All right, I'm gonna put it in my bag here. Hey, caller, you on? What's happening?
Yep, 1 second.
Oh, okay. 1 second. Hold on, caller. We about to pull you on here in just a minute.
All right, there you go.
Hey, caller, you're live. You're on. What's happening? Oh, I don't hear you. Hold on. I don't hear you.
Hello?
Hey.
Hello?
All right, can you...
Hello?
Hey, caller, I tell you what. We are unable to connect you right now. All right, hold on. Oh, okay, I got you. Hey, caller, what you got? You are live.
Hello?
Hey.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. Tony, this is Keisha.
Keisha, what's happening?
What's going on?
Listening to you. Keisha.
Okay, so I thought I would indulge you today.
I appreciate you. You're a blessing.
You know how we do.
What you got?
So, okay, I don't want to get too deep off in the soapbox or whatever. But, and I know this probably gonna rub some people the wrong way, or whatever. But the whole who is SWAC thing, like basically what you just said, I feel like it comes down to more of like genuine support.
Yeah.
Like those people who know the culture, yes, because HBCU, especially HBCU football, there is a culture there.
Yes.
We know that we have had some great, outstanding athletes to come through, HBCU programs. We know this.
Yep.
And I know that we have not verbally had this conversation, but I think we're on the same page. We want to go back to, Coach Eddie Robb, who is not the son of the legend.
Right,
Eddie
exactly.
Robinson. That's first thing. So anybody who thinks that can't talk to me, because
That's
you're
right.
not Swag. You can't talk to me.
Right.
But, okay, so what he said, it wasn't like the former coach wasn't Swag, or like saying Jackson State wasn't Swag. Because we all know that ain't true.
Right.
We all know that ain't true. But I think where he was coming from was he attended Alabama State.
I got it.
So, yeah, he played in the NFL too.
Yep.
He came back. Now he's coaching at his alma mater.
Yep.
But it's like he gets it. And he didn't step in it from a celebrity standpoint.
Uh-huh.
Like he understands it all. Like he knows the struggle. And like he called out those coaches, like Eddie Robinson, Marino Castle, W.C. Gordon. Like he called out those men who built the Swag. And built HBCU football. So that's kind of what he was saying, is like, I'm Swag. You know what I'm saying? Like, I played here. I how the kids.
I know the culture. In other words,
yeah, like,
I am a part of that culture. That culture has influenced me. That culture has impacted me. So, I appreciate you calling in because in these last 2 minutes, I think I'm gonna drive that point home. I appreciate you so much. Behave over there. Tell us what you're doing right now, real quick. Tell us who you are and what you're doing.
So, as you mentioned earlier, I am in college athletics. I have had, my days as an administrator. Now I am doing, I'm a learning specialist at the University of Texas at Austin. So, I'm Swag. Swag is the reason why I'm where I am now.
There it is.
You know what I'm saying? That's who I am. And no matter where I go, Swag is going to always be in me. No matter where I am, I'm going to rep Swag. So,
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it right there live from a former Golden Girl from that school down there in the woods. Bye, Keisha.
Now, stop it.
Hey, everybody. Thank y'all again. Listen, we're getting ready to get out of here. We're going to wind this thing down. I really appreciate Keisha's call, but I want to just kind of frame this finally this way. At the end of the day, the bottom line is we support who supports you. Be loyal to who's going to be loyal to you. And those are the people that get you, the people that understand you, the people you ain't got to explain yourself to. When we would come up here, sometimes the last couple of years, we started bringing some of our white classmates. And we would bring them. We will always bring some of our white classmates just so we can see their eyes light up in that HBCU culture. Can I tell y'all something? We never brought one white person who did not leave a Jack State University game begging us to come back. They would all, when are you going back to Jackson State? When are you going back? It never, ever failed. It never failed. And all I'm trying to tell you is that this, when you don't have to explain yourself, when people get you, the whole game, when we would bring our white friends, we explain the stuff. It just, what's that? What's going on? I mean, now you ain't gonna really enjoy it if you want to watch the game, if you bring them, because you got to explain everything. But that's okay, because that's why we brought them. We brought them to get them cultured a little bit so they can see what's happening, what's going on, how we grew up, what we grew up in, right? Even my friend Trey, who I was talking about, Trey's parents got their degrees from Jack State, grew up in Washington Addition, but they moved to the coast. That's simple. That's simple. So he sees himself as a part of the culture. We're getting ready to get out of here. Look, holler at us. We're looking for sponsorships. Next week, you need to make sure that you are tuned in to the hottest Friday wind down that there is in the state of Mississippi. Tony Yarber with the buffet. I'll see y'all next week. Same time, same place. God bless you.